Hello and welcome back to another episode of Project Oarai. Now, before we actually get into the episode, I do want to just talk about a few things beforehand really quickly, because we've got quite a few things to cover today, to be honest. I do want to talk briefly about what's going on with the city, what's going on with the castle, and kind of what I want to do in the future. As well as I also want to talk about some City Skylines 2 stuff. But most importantly, I do want to kind of cover a little bit on what's been going on lately. Because I have been getting some messages saying, you know, if you need a break, take a break. If you're feeling burnt out, you know, don't worry, just take a break and all that type of stuff. And I really do appreciate them comments because, you know, I've never met any of you, and you know, you've never seen me, you've never spoke to me in real life, but yet you've got such kind words to say, and I really do appreciate that. So thank you very much for your comments. It's very, very much appreciated, just know that. So thank you again. But trust me, I'm not burnt out in the slightest. I really enjoy playing City Skylines, and it is pretty much my relaxation, because you can do so much in the game and just relax and chill and just create some really crazy things, and I love it. But what I've been having to deal with in private has been so mentally, and it's just been so taxing, because it's one of them matters that doesn't end until it ends, if you get where I'm coming from. Like, I have no say in the matter pretty much. It is what it is, and what it is just absolutely terrible. But thankfully, it's all dealt with now. It's in the past, and it's gone. So I no longer have this massive black cloud above my head, and this massive weight on my back when I'm trying to just relax, because I'm sure you all know that when something's on your mind and there's nothing you can do about it until you know that it's dealt with and it's gone, it's constantly there, especially when it's something serious as well. So thankfully, it's dealt with now, it's totally gone, and I can finally get back to just relaxing and just normal real life problems, you know, just the silly things. So yeah, that's dealt with now. But I do think going forward in the future, if I ever have anything as serious as this again, which I doubt I will, to be honest, because this was pretty bad. But if I do, what I might do is, it won't be really a break as such, but it'll be more like, I'll do the video, but it might take me like a week or two, or maybe 3 weeks, or whatever, because with the free time that I usually have available, it's easily enough to do a video a week. Whereas with what was going on, I just felt so stressed and couldn't really relax because it was constantly there, and I just was constantly on my mind thinking about it. So it was hard to sit down, do the videos, think about what needed doing, and especially with what needed doing was Osaka Castle. And this place is, I'll be honest, it's been a challenge building it so far. I find it very difficult, because there's a few reasons why I find building this place quite difficult. One, it's already been done by some really good people in the past, and I usually don't like to build anything that people have built before, because I kind of feel like it's copying, and I know that it was built quite a few years ago by other people and stuff like that. But I'm just that kind of person. I always think, well, if someone else has done it, I'll do something different. And you know, Osaka Castle, I just thought looked that incredible and that good, and I thought it'd be really cool to kind of do like a New York thing, you know, like Central Park, kind of have it in the middle of the city, and it'd be kind of the jewel of the city in a way. So I decided to do it anyways. Now, I also don't want my areas to look exactly like what people have done before, as well as some of them are going to kind of look pretty similar anyway because it's Osaka Castle and there's only so much you can do. But I do like to change some of the areas and just kind of add my own little flavor to it and just change up some stuff. So this place normally takes quite a bit of time. Just because it's so different as well. Like, I've learned so much about what looks good together and what doesn't, and the stuff that I'm trying to mix together to create some of the stuff is also very difficult and time consuming. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe next week or something like that. Maybe we do what has been brought. Maybe we do like a residential episode and we start to adventure from the beach into the city finally. And maybe we do something like that just for like a relax episode, so I can finally figure out how the next episode to the castle is going to go, because we're cutting off, which you'll see later on in the episode. We're going to be going up a slope, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do going up that slope because of how it is on Google Earth. So I'm going to have to try out some ideas, and I think if we do like a residential episode for next week, gives me enough time to play around with a lot of little different ideas that I've got in my mind. And also, I kind of want to see how we venture from the beach towards the city, how that's going to turn out. So yeah, that is kind of my idea for next week. So yeah, we're finally back. What was happening in my personal life is behind us now, and I can finally start to relax, like I was saying. So yeah, I can finally start to relax, chill out, and all that's dealt with. So yeah. Anyways, let's stop thinking about that now, because that's in the past and the stress of it is gone. So let's never think about it, talk about it again, or anything. So this episode is actually 2 put into 1, because when I did originally edit this episode, it was rather short, and I figured that I could put another part of what I was going to do for a different episode with this one. But not only that, you can kind of see on the screen at the moment, I've kind of got like these rows of trees, or I can't even remember what they are, what I found on the workshop for them actually. But my idea was to kind of have like a little bit of, almost like a little bit of a farm area, and whatever was made here would be the food for the people that work on the grounds and stuff like that. But the more I looked at it after it was done, and the more that I was doing other parts of the castle, I just kind of didn't like it. So I totally scrap all them trees, whatever they are, kind of, and we replace them with rows of cherry blossom trees, shrunken down so they're quite tiny. Because I noticed on Google Earth that they did have some different style of trees in this area, but they were very small trees. So I figured we'd just do a load of cherry blossom trees here, shrunken down, and you know, people could walk around them, take pictures next to them, all that type of stuff. So if you're wondering why I don't really show much of this area, it's because I've kind of cut it out. The only parts that I've left in is kind of what's done along the main road, the walls, and that type of stuff. Just so you can still kind of see how I went about making them areas. One of the other things that I was wanting to talk about is kind of the city, because as you all know, I've never really built a city before properly. Like in my free time, like many years ago when I attempted to build a similar city, it was kind of just a load of stuff thrown together and that was kind of it, and never to the extent that I've gone now. So I'm still learning kind of what looks good, how things work, how things should look, and all that type of stuff. And I've noticed the more that I look at the city that there's a few things that I would like to change, but it's going to be very hard to change some of them because some of the areas are kind of set in stone, and to change them would be like a massive overhaul. So what I'm thinking of doing is doing some of the key areas that I know in my head are set in stone, and then I'm gonna try and work out from around them and kind of see how it goes, because I kind of don't like where the docks are to how close they are going to be to Osaka Castle. I think that they're, especially with the motorway as well, I think all that type of area is too close. I want there to be a couple of neighborhoods, a couple of high rises, a couple of skyscrapers kind of around that area, and then as you get to the docks, you're kind of filtering out from like the high rises to the lower residential and all that type of stuff. So maybe we do an episode where we, once we've built some key areas, maybe we do like an overhaul of like the map again, you know, like what we did with the roads before. Maybe I do another episode like that where we go over the roads, changing them again, and just kind of seeing what we've got to work with, because we're kind of pushing very close to the border of the map where the docks are. But I think we could get it to work regardless. I'd still need to see it though, so yeah, maybe we do like a road episode going in the future, as well as some of the some of the key places. Is definitely the airport. That's a key place. Universal Studios is definitely a key place. I've actually managed to find I think it was yesterday, I managed to find a couple more assets for that place, which was kind of nice. Every now and then I have a little look on the workshop and see what I can find. Because some days you can look and not really find much of anything, and then some days you think, oh, there's something. So yeah, I've slowly found some more stuff for the Universal Studios, which is kind of nice. And oh my god, what was the other areas that was? Oh yes, I want to do like some really fancy residential houses along the mountainside, but I wanna work on the mountainside because I want there to be like an intersection that goes into the mountainside, but then it also travels on the edge of the mountainside, like on the edge of the city. But I kind of need to see how that's going to work first as well. And there's obviously the Chinatown section that's set in stone, where I've kind of got an idea for that as well. Now, there is some other stuff that I've been thinking about as well. Now, we have got City Skylines 2 coming up, and I will not be stopping Project Oarai even when City Skylines 2 comes out until it's done or the save just doesn't work anymore. I'm gonna keep doing Project Oarai until it's finished, or as close as I can get it to finished if the engine kind of, or the save kind of starts to not really work properly on me. So there's no worries about Project Oarai going anywhere when City Skylines 2 comes out. I still will be making some videos on City Skylines 2 though. It'll probably be, I don't know how well I'm going to be at doing it because I've never really played vanilla. So, you know, we can all laugh at watching me kind of play vanilla and seeing what happens. But there's some great stuff in City Skylines too, especially the videos that they've been showing and the new functions and all that type of stuff. It just looks crazy what they're doing. And we all know that I love building the Japanese theme. So I won't really be maining, if you will, City Skylines 2 until hopefully we kind of get some Japanese assets, because graphically and visually the game looks stunning, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully being able to get some Japanese assets in the game, because closer to the time as well, depending how easier it is, because it's kind of tricky to do assets for the game with how many assets I have, and then making different profiles for loading in and out of the game, and the asset editor and all that type of stuff, and then Blender. I am probably going to be making some of my own assets that I'm kind of looking for City Skylines 2. I have thought about it for City Skylines 1, but seeing as 2 is so close, I kind of felt like it would be a little bit of a waste. Well, not really too much of a waste, but you know, I'd be putting time into something that I'm not sure is going to pay off, if that kind of makes more sense. I hope it does. It's probably not worded or sounded right, but yeah, that's kind of my idea on it. So yeah, we're gonna probably be getting some of our own assets for City Skylines 2 once I see how the whole modding is gonna work for that, and asset creation, all that lovely stuff. Because there's a few things that I'd have loved to have had in City Skylines 1, and I know that if I just spent a few hours in Blender and made them, they'd look really good, because there's some things that I just can't find on the workshop, which maybe I'm not searching for them properly, and maybe they are out there, but I've just not been able to find them, which has been a bit disappointing and annoying, but it is what it is. Whereas hopefully with City Skylines 2 we're not going to have that problem, which would be kind of cool. Okay, so now I've kind of had my little ramble, and I've kind of gone off topic about a few things, and we've talked about going forward in the future, City Skylines 2, and obviously Project Oarai, because I really want to finish Project Oarai. I don't want to just stop it. I feel like we've really created some good stuff here, and I've also learned so much from this as well, because already with doing what I've done with the city, I've kind of seen what works and doesn't work, because obviously the city that we've made, obviously it's a load of different locations stitched together to make a city. I've not really, I'll be honest, I've not thought it out as well as I thought I did. I wish I'd have spent a little bit more time on like the infrastructure of the actual city, like a better train line, because I love for the cinematics for you to be able to see the train going through the city and going through the buildings or at the back of the buildings and all that type of stuff, as well as a monorail. And I never thought I'd do trams, but apparently we've got trams in the city, so there's that on top. So you see what I mean. I didn't really think it out very well. So one day when we do another city, hopefully it'll be better thought out. But we'll have to see. Okay, so we are kind of nearing the end of the episode, and I've probably rambled and kind of gone off topic about some things, as I usually do. But, you know, that's just me. It is what it is. So, I want to thank you all if you've stuck with me for this long while I've been talking. I really do appreciate it. And everyone who has commented lately and all that type of stuff. I really do appreciate it. It's really nice to see your messages, even when I've not really uploaded really anything. So I really do appreciate that. So thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for watching today's episode. And like always, I'll see you all in the next one.